Yo, why are they lying for Hamzahsheeraz talking about commission needs to be in the room whenever you get your hand wraps? But I'm going to show you how that's a lie. How they be in the rooms getting their hand wraps without the commission there. Yes, the other team can be there if they choose to, but the commission sometimes are not even there, especially if they know you already. And this is the problem, that Hamzahsheeraz only had one hand wrap on the whole time, even to the back. Not just for the interview, but all the way to the back. I'm going to show y'all right now footage of boxers in the back room, and there's no commission around. They're arguing.
Who said that?
They're going back and forth right now about hand wraps, about stacking. You can't put gauze, tape, gauze, tape. You can only put gauze, tape, then you're done. But he was putting gauze, tape, and there's no commission there. You see no commission or inspector in the room. See what he says? He says, okay, then we'll get the commission. Let's call the inspector and the commission to come over here. That means they're not in the room. So everything they're saying is not true. Or it shows that sometimes doesn't happen, my people. You feel me? You're going to see right now when they bring the commission in and the inspector in. For them to come in means they were never inside.
But
like,
the
you had to
inspectors
send
are
them to
there.
look at him. Listen to what he
When
says.
a trainer gets to a dressing room with his fighter, he cannot start wrapping that hand up until an inspector is present and is witnessing it.
See, that's what I'm saying. We see that's not true. He's not in there. There's no commission or inspector in there. That's not true. They had to come in. They had to get him for them to even even be in the room. They had to go and get him and wait. So they was never in the room. So that's not true, my people. So what he's saying right here is like the rules, but the rules don't always apply. Look, they came in. See? These two guys came in, right? You see it, right? Why are they in there? They came to inspect after they called them. That means they weren't watching the whole time how everybody's claiming that they do, my people. It shows that that's not what happens all the time. This shows that sometimes they're not in the room. Sometimes they just like trust the people. Okay, get your hand wrapped.
Good bet that you get. He told me in EBU,
Not allowed.
He just told him that's not allowed. He just said that's not allowed. So he just saw something that's illegal, and they still gonna let him do his thing. And listen to what he says after. He admits to doing it several times.
We're not trying to do something illegal. I've been in a lot of places doing that.
Right here, they're supposed to ask him like, how many times have you done this? When? Oh, right, that was illegal. He's supposed to get in trouble for this. You feel me? Like, if you're not supposed to be doing this and they're admitting to that, listen to what Teddy Atlas said also.
Before a fight is that you let the other side know when you can wrap your hands. Usually about an hour. Some people might do an hour, 10 minutes before the fight, somewhere around there. And you let them know so they can send a representative. The other corner can send a representative.
Yes,
to
the team watch. We got that. The team came. That's down packed. Check.
We'll send a representative over with your rep. And then on top of that, you have an inspector from the commission.
The commission's not there. So what they're saying is their belief, but that's not what's happening. Listen to what Eddie Hearn said. That's not true. That's not, the team is there. The team is there. But that part is not true. I mean, it probably is true, but it's not happening every time is what I'm saying. And I'm showing y'all. You feel me? Because look, there's nobody in the room. If not, they would have been there already. If they was watching from the beginning, they don't take their eyes off of you. Commission doesn't play that. So where these two guys came from, they should have been in there the whole time if that's what happens. You feel me, my people? That don't make no sense to me. Well, it does. It makes total sense. It makes sense that they was never in there. That don't always happen. Look at the altercation again. So I'm going to get the inspector, get the inspector, get the inspector, meaning the inspector and the commission were never in there, my people. You feel me what I'm saying? So let me know how you feel about this, my people, because the defense of everybody and all everybody that's been talking, even judges, even promotions, their defense is the commission is always there watching your hand wraps. Even though we're asking a different question, but even that question makes no sense when you watch something like this. And this video's on Matchroom. You can go watch it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these videos are part of like other channels that it's not just mine. I'm just not just making this up. You're gonna go watch it and see like, okay, wow. There was nobody in the room. There was no inspector watching this. So what are they talking about with, oh, there's always an inspector watching. It feels like somebody's trying to hide something because nothing they're saying is actually real or has been proven to be not happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? You could say it's false, whatever y'all want to say. You know what I'm saying? Look, there's nobody there, my people. There would have been somebody there. Right or wrong, am I bugging? There would have been somebody there. If the inspector's there all the time, I'm not dumb. I know what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how y'all feel about this. Do you feel like this is suspicious? You know what I'm saying? People say it's suspicious because he had one hand wrap on. He never took it off. He only took one off in the ring and went all the way back to the locker room with one. We don't know when he took it off, if he ever did, if he still got it on to this day. Also, because how much damage Berlanga got so fast. Yes, it can happen, but just everything fitting together just seems a little weird. You know what I'm saying? And then we got a lot of people defending, but they are defending and saying stuff. Their defense really isn't like pure or really makes sense. Like we asked a lot of people, who have you seen, what boxer have you seen in a fight of this magnitude on TV? Because you know it has to be the same, because you have to see it to believe it. You seen leave the ring with one hand wrap on, and one hand wrap on, like Hamzahsheeraz did in his fight against Edgarberlanga. And nobody has answered that. If they do answer it, is no, I've never seen it. And those are the guys that are being pure, but the guys hiding it and don't admit that, look, man, we gotta watch it. The inspector just came in. The inspector and the commission just came in. They weren't in there. And those hand wraps were wrapped. They were wrapped before this. They had to cut them back out because Liam was telling them, yo, those are stacked. You can't be stacking. He said, what do you mean stacking? And it shows that some rules, some coaches don't know. Some people wrapping hands don't know. Look, he's arguing. It looks like he believes what he's saying. Like, I do this all the time. What's the problem? He's annoyed. He's like, yo, bro, if we can't use him at this event, and he's letting him know, like, you can't use him nowhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, he's not getting it. He's not getting it. So I'm telling you, just like there's people like this in the world, there's also trainers. There's also people that wrap hands, hand wrappers, you know what I'm saying? That are like this, that don't understand the rules sometimes. They think like, no, they said gauze, and they said tape. So I put gauze, tape. No, you can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? They said we could, you know what I'm saying? There's just people like that. So it could have been a mistake. Who knows? Maybe that's what they're saying here. That's what Margarito also said. His coach Capetillo. You know what I'm saying? They said it was a mistake. He had one. He made two hand wraps. One was there. He grabbed one. Why would you even make one out of cast? I don't know, my people. You know when somebody is lying, the story always sounds weird. So everything that they saying here to me, I don't know. It sounds suspicious, my people. It sounds like it's everywhere. Because then when I go look at the proof and see them in the room and getting their hand wraps, I don't see nobody like standing there. I don't see no inspector, no commission, nothing like that. And I showed y'all this. Look, no one's there, man. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of nothing. There's no point in me doing that. Like, I'm not friends with Berlanga. I'm not this and that. I'm just a person that I watch and I check for anything suspicious in boxing. And if it has something to do, I'm not tied to no promotion, so I can say whatever I want. You feel me? Look, man, at the end of the day, if I see something suspicious in the sport of boxing, I'm going to call it out. That's why they call me Mr. Suspicious. I ain't give myself the name. It's just from me seeing stuff and just trying to help, man. Because a lot of people can't say nothing in the sport because they'll be banned. They'll be blacklisted that quick. It's real easy in this sport. You feel me? It's politics. Why you think you always hear like champions be like, you know, there's a lot of politics, especially when they retire, when they start talking about it. Because there's a lot of politics, you know. People like me that I'm not a boxer and I don't work for nobody. Theirs is easier, but still, you know, I'm going to get backlash. I'm going to get some locked doors, you know what I'm saying? And people like me are gonna get locked doors. But the sport of boxing is really tough on boxers, man. They can't speak up, you know what I'm saying? Even like Berlanga can't speak up right now, or anybody that was in this position. Like if Cotto would have said something, they would have bashed him. They would have bashed Cotto if he would have said something, even before Mosley, and then found out. If he would have never said nothing, if he would have said something, he would have looked at like, wow, what a lame, looking for excuses, oh my God. And that's just how people are. And he would have got probably banned low-key, like blackballed in the sport of boxing, my people. You know what I'm saying? So this is just to let y'all know, man, I have no ties to nobody, man. I don't got to be doing this for different reasons, for any clout either. I could do a video about anything. I could do a video about Gervontadavis, Shakurstevenson. There's lots to talk about in the sport of boxing, man. Especially if you dive deep into somebody's career. I do suspicious opponents. I could read a whole record right now, but I chose to do this. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's something that's important. Let me know how y'all feel about this. You know what I'm saying? Hamzahsheeraz has suspicious hand wraps, is what people feel like. And it looks like because he only kept one hand wrap on all the way from the ring all the way to the locker room, and nobody ever saw him take it off. And this and everybody's excuse of why he had it on and that everything is okay is because they say that Commission's always in the room watching the whole hand wrapping, and I showed you everybody that was saying this, and there was more than this, and more people that had said it than this, but I didn't show those people. But you can see right here in this video I showed y'all that that's not true. You know what I'm saying? I showed y'all that there's some instances where they're not even in the room and things go on behind their back without them knowing. And when they find out something happens, like here, they found out that he done this numerous times. They're just like, oh, okay, yeah, just don't do it here. All right, bye. So yeah, my people, let me know how you feel about this. If you feel like it's suspicious or it's not suspicious, or at least like we need some answers. You know what I'm saying? Like you got some questions and we need some answers, my people. Let me know how you feel about this content. I got more content on my page. Check it out, subscribe, like. You already know how everybody tells you to do. I'll tell you to do the same thing. Subscribe, like, comment, Instagram, Prince Fiorentino. You know what I'm saying? Boxing's very own Instagram. Check it out, man. You know what I'm saying? I speak the truth, man. I try to be non-biased as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me know how y'all feel about it.